How you doing, everybody? I wasn't planning to make a video for this, but now that I've gotten pretty deep into this, I figured I would, because maybe it'll help some others that are installing a stereo into a Scion TC. I'm doing this in my daughter's 2005 TC. It's got over 200,000 miles, and it's just getting a new stereo now. The reason I'm doing it is to so she has Bluetooth in the car for safer driving. Wasn't really looking to get her a new stereo, but she's gonna get one because I just want her to be able to answer calls more safely. But anyway, she had the factory Pioneer unit in it, which was okay. It came with a FM modulated auxiliary input on it, which was horrendous. So she'll be able to use Bluetooth now or a USB cable for her iPhone. But again, the main reason for doing this was for Bluetooth calling. So anyway, just so that one's coming out. And I just figured I'd go over a few things about the Scion. I know there's probably other videos showing how to take the dash apart, but I'll go through it real quick. This car is an automatic. First thing you need to do is turn the key forward and put your foot on the brake and put the gear shifter all the way down into low gear. Then the next thing you need to do is remove this trim piece, which is normally right about here, and this just pulls straight back towards you to get it off. No tools needed. I was able to do it with my fingers. Once you get that piece pulled back and off, it will slip right up over the gear shift knob. Next thing you got to do is remove this large piece that has all the ventilation controls on it. And at this point the stereo would still be mounted in the car, but this whole piece also comes off very easily. I was able to get my fingertips around the edges and just pull straight up, and I'm sorry, it actually pulls straight out at you. You could see the clips that hold it in, so you want to pull out straight at you, and it comes right off. There's one wire harness that you have to unplug after you disconnect it, and then you'll be good to go. At that point you can remove the factory head unit, which is on this car anyway. It's this Pioneer unit. You got four 10 millimeter, oh I'm sorry, on mine it was two 10 millimeter bolts at the top and two Phillips screws on the bottom, and then it just pulls straight out. So then what I'm going to, and I've already done some of this work already, is this Pioneer single DIN head unit. I decided to go with the single DIN mostly because I forget. I like the double DIN stuff, but at the time I was planning to keep the factory Scion door cover that goes over the stereo, and I wasn't sure if it was going to shut over the large button that's on the double DIN units. But long story short, I went with the single DIN, so I got an adapter mounting kit for it. The kit I ended up getting is the Scosche, that's how you say it, 70-1761, and what that does is take your double DIN hole and make it single DIN with a pocket underneath it. I don't think it's required to use the pocket, you actually have to add it in, but mine does. And it also comes with this, so it comes with that, and it comes with the new metal mounting brackets that went on there, and a new trim plate that goes around this piece. So all said and done, you won't have a door when you use that particular kit. There's other kits that you can get that keeps the factory Scion door, which is this right there. That usually goes over the stereo. Sorry, it's a little dark in here. So we're losing that, and the faceplate on the new stereo is detachable, so if she remembers, she could pop that off if she's worried about parking it somewhere. So a couple other things I just wanted to mention that might save some others some grief. One is, if you go with this particular kit to remove the door, when you take this panel off, the directions are pretty terrible with that Scosche kit. Scosche. And it says to remove 4 screws to get that door panel off. I mistakenly read it thinking I had to remove, I saw 4 screws that are on the sides of the door with you'll see like a kind of a gear that moves up and down when you open the door. I started taking those 4 screws off, but then I couldn't get this piece apart from this piece, and it just made no sense to me. Finally I realized it's 4 different screws that you need to take off, which are like right here, and then 2 on that side. And this whole door assembly comes right off, including another big black plastic mounting bracket, which I don't have with me now, it's inside. And the whole thing just comes right out easy. And then this trim piece that comes with the mounting kit here goes right in using the same exact 4 screws. You could see them right there. So those are the 4 you need to take out to remove, to get the Scion door off, and then you use the same 4 screws to put the first trim piece, this one that goes around the edge, and mount it to that front panel. I think that's about it. This pocket, the lower pocket screws into those metal brackets first, and then the head unit goes in. I didn't use the slide in, forget what it's called, chassis that the stereo slides into with this one. I only used the head unit itself. Seemed like if I put the chassis on it, it was going to be too big to fit in there. Maybe it would have, maybe not. The other thing, at least on my stereo, it looks like I don't use the trim plate around the stereo that the stereo came with. Otherwise it would be too wide and too big. It's just not necessary for this installation as far as I could tell. Finally, the other thing I just want to mention is the wiring harness adapter I got. I got the Metra 70-1761, which fits most every Toyota, and that was pretty plug and play. One thing that was special about this car, different than probably most people's, is it does have the factory Bazooka subwoofer in it. That was an option, at least on the early Scions. I don't know if it still was later. I had no idea how that even hooked up until I took everything apart, because as far as I knew, the factory Pioneer head unit didn't have low level outputs on it. So it turns out it actually had a special wire harness that connected up to the factory standard Toyota wiring harness for the stereo, which split off the speaker outputs, a pair of them anyway. So that's what's driving the factory subwoofer, and it appears I'm going to be able to keep that just fine with the new setup as well, just using the same exact harness. I guess that's about it for now. I'll shoot a little more video when it's all done and installed. Thanks. One other thing I forgot to mention is I just have to run the microphone for the Bluetooth hands-free on the Pioneer deck. It's a wired microphone. You could put it, up on the visor area or near the steering wheel. I like to put it up by the visor. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put it up by this mirror. Most likely run the wire down here and then down behind this pillar here, and then down underneath the dashboard and up to the stereo. I haven't pulled it off yet, but pretty sure I could get my fingers behind here and then pull. This panel should pop right off. I did my Camry last weekend, and that's pretty much how it came off. wasn't that bad at all. So I was able to pop that panel off. It's a little tight. I was able to get my fingers in there and just give it a good yank. And it pops right out. Hopefully it will pop right back on. That's the usually the scary part, is hoping it goes back together. And then as far as the upper area, you know, above the mirror, if you just get your finger up behind there, you can pull it back a little and then run your finger along. I'm going to put the mic right pretty much straight up above the mirror. When you put the mic in, just remember you don't want to put it somewhere that if you put down your sun visor, it's going to block it, because your sun visor is going to end up being down more than you think while you're talking on the phone. So do it right the first time and put it more towards the very middle of the car so the sun visor doesn't block it. The other place I was thinking of putting it was right up at the top of that panel, but just the way the mic clip's designed, it's kind of tough to aim, and it would probably get bumped over time, you know, so it's not straight. Alright, that's it for that. Alright, so the microphone's finished, went up, right up above the mirror, like I had hoped, and it wasn't too bad. The panel went back together okay with a slight kind of space at the top. It's pretty minimal. And then wiring it down underneath the steering wheel area was okay. There weren't a lot of places to tie it up off to, but it's all set, and now it's up and coming through the dash here. So now I have everything, I have the head unit placed in here. I'm just bolting everything back down again. Just wanted to mention one last thing before I do. You'll notice that when you are hooking up the wiring connections for your new head unit, they recommend that the ground goes to a chassis ground. You could probably just as easily hook it up to the ground that's on your factory wiring harness, because there's ground there, and I'm sure it would be perfectly fine. It's what your old radio was hooked up to. Nevertheless, they do ask that you go to chassis ground, and you'll notice that the black ground wire on the new aftermarket head unit's wiring harness is about a foot longer than all the other leads. So I think they do that on purpose, so to make it stand out. I'm not sure why they have you go to chassis ground, possibly to avoid noise on the line. So anyway, long story short, if you need to find a chassis ground that's close by, you'll see just inside there's a kind of a screw-on nut next to that black wiring harness going past it. You'll see my black wire going to it with a blue ring connector. All I did was unscrew that bolt. It's a little tight, but it comes right off. Nothing falls apart. Put the ring over it with the wire already crimped on, and then put the nut back on it, and you've got a good chassis ground right there. So, alright, let me get this buttoned up, and then I'll show you when it's done. Alright, so just to wrap everything up, everything's all put back together. I'd say it came out very nice. I like the mounting panel. Looks better, I would say, than the factory Scion door cover. The mounting kit worked out well. This is the SCN2059B. Only complaint would be that the directions that come with it are pretty crappy. So as far as how the pieces go together, it takes a little trial and error with it. Look at the old one that you pulled out with the mounting brackets that are on it, and then compare it to the ones that the kit comes with, and you should be able to figure it all out. But all in all, I like it a lot, and hopefully my daughter does too, and hope this video helped some people out. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments, and I'll do my best to respond. See you later.